Good and Bad, Part 3. We can name it whatever we want, but we know how we feel. I always say the mind can lie, because that's where the ego resides. That's where the intellect resides. And the ego is also there for self-preservation. And sometimes we have to lie to ourselves to protect ourselves. But our feelings, that's from the heart space. That's from the soul space. That, they don't lie. And I know some of us, romantics in particular, can be like, oh, well, I thought my heart loved and felt like this, and that wasn't true. Really? Just because you changed your mind doesn't mean that it wasn't true for your heart. When you think about manifesting from the heart space and why it is the most powerful and why it is the center chakra, it is the core of us because it is literally that central force. We've got our 3 chakras below, our 3 chakras above, and we've got the heart space, keeping everything in alignment, erect, solid, strong, firm, stable, powerful. Thinking about a strong stance, commanding authority. It's a balanced heart. It's a healed heart that provides that in the upper and the lower, and why it brings oneness. Whatever external circumstances we can deem as unfavorable, it comes from an imbalance or low vibrational energy that's internally or externally accessible. It's based on the exposure. Sure, we can say something's not ideal, but then we have to look at what we can do about that and how we can protect our energy. Don't let that, of all things, be a cliche. Protect your shit. And I can assure you, if we are about protecting our stuff, your energy is the most valuable essence that you possess. And that is immortal, that has come before you and the stuff and will continue after you and the stuff. So we have a duty to protect our energy, our soul, our incarnations, our ancestors and descendants, because that is the oneness. And what we choose to expose ourselves to isn't just affecting us and not just affecting this life. I mean, it is that deep. I'm trying to read my notes here. Like this channeling was so deep. Wow. There may be some things or dynamics that we can't instantly avoid, but we can and should strategize ways to minimize our exposure. What happens when anything is overexposed? It usually results in damage. Don't let that be you. That is what it means to protect your energy. That is why it is that important to protect your energy. And again, for not just you. I mean, for those of us that are parents, Think about anything that we expose ourselves to. We literally come home and like reflect that on our children without even realizing it. So we have to start realizing it, you know? At least when we're out there, so that we can minimize what we're bringing in here. We have to start paying more attention to the images that are thrust in our faces and sensationalized and dehumanized and desensitized. Look at what we're getting used to, despite it disturbing every cell in our natural bodies. There are just some things that I refuse to look at. And when people say, I need to know what's happening, I say, I've never been one who needs to see to believe. I know what's happening, as well as the bigger picture. And I say that with humility and modesty, but I don't mind if you don't believe that. I don't mind if you're repelled in some way because I've been able to say something that I claim to know. I can assure you, life is about knowing. And if there are things that you struggle with admitting that you know, then you're going to fall behind. And you're going to be dissatisfied with your life. And you're going to be limited in regards to what you manifest. I'm all for humility. I'm all for modesty, but we have to be mindful and soulful in regards to that and how sometimes it could cripple us and prevent us from being able to just say what we know and speak it with a command of authority. And this is not anything you're saying something about someone else or in a derogatory way or anything. No, this is about you choosing to share something that you feel can empower someone else because of how you feel it's empowered you. Again, it's all about the high vibes. I'm not saying that life is not supposed to have some low shit. It is what it is, but it's about what you choose to expose yourself to, how much, and what you focus on. Which is why the how much is very, very important, because sometimes we have to focus on the stuff that's not favorable. But then keep that at a minimum. Let's keep that at a minimum. Let's try to keep that. No, let's like Yoda said, don't try, do, right? Keep that at a minimum. I know every enraging headline, destructive post, and barbaric video footage that is released for our information is only meant to misinform us. And it's to misinform us about the access to power that we truly have. They even took that word, power, and made us believe that it only abuses and corrupts. But it is those who are heart-centered leaders, who stay in alignment in spite of the trauma and the drama, that should have the power. That's how power will be distributed with the masses who have the intention to pay it forward in kind. We've heard this. And we say this, we say it often, but it truly is time for us to reclaim and command that power that has always been ours and simply decide how we're going to use it to transform our lives and the lives of others and the universe, the whole universe, because yes, we are that powerful. It really is a believe and receive. But we have to really feel it, we have to really convince ourselves, because then it's our duty to convince others. Yeah, me too and you too. Ashe.